All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll wait a moment or so to get some more folks a moment to get themselves connected, and then we'll dive right in. Just a little housekeeping as everyone's getting themselves connected. You'll notice that you don't have options to speak throughout the webinar, but there is a chat. So if you have any questions as we're going along here, feel free to drop your questions into the chat. And there's also going to be a follow-up sent out so that you can reach out and get some more information about anything that you've seen here today. So use that chat as needed, and we'll get started here shortly. See some more people filing in. All right. All right, I think we can go ahead and get started here. Again, another quick little housekeeping note is you will receive an email with a link to watch the recording, and so that will be sent out automatically. So even if you're not here with us live, you should be able to rewatch this no problem through the link that you'll get in your email. My name is Amanda Velutini, and for those of you who have attended webinars with me before, thank you for coming back. Welcome to this webinar where we're going to talk about more things that you can get from Stack Sports. And I have some guest speakers today, so this webinar will not be listening to me talk for an hour, which is great. We're going to hear from some other really interesting people about some really interesting products. We are going to hear from Stacy, who is going to talk to us about PushSave and some fundraising options. We're going to hear from Ellis, who's going to talk a little bit about Stack Sports, but also about our Team Team Accommodations partnership. And we're going to hear from Jason, who's going to talk to us about Skyhawks for enhanced programming options for your organization. We also have Trevor here with us. If you haven't met Trevor yet, Trevor is a Goalline sales executive, and so if you're not already using Goalline, you can go ahead and reach out to us, and Trevor can definitely hook you up with a demonstration and get you set up with Goalline. To reach Trevor or to talk to us, you can reach out to goalline@stacksports.com for some general inquiries. If you're already a Goalline partner, you can reach out to the support team through your preferred method there to reach out to us. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Ellis, and he is going to get us started.
Great, thanks, Amanda, and apologies, everyone. It looks like my camera's flickering down there, so I'm coming in and out of the shot. But I appreciate the introduction. As Amanda said, my name is Ellis Lowe. I'm the Director of Revenue here at Stack Sports. And so my job really ranges across all of our lines of business, and we'll talk a little bit about those here at a high level. Many on this call are familiar with our Goalline product and our customers of our Goalline products. They're familiar with the team and league management aspect to what we do. We have a stateside product called Sports Connect that is very similar to that. But in addition to those products, we have a variety of solutions, a lot of which kind of cover this circle ecosystem that you guys are looking at here, from camp registration and management, which Jason will talk a little bit about today, to tools to help scheduling your events, to team communication tools, team housing and travel tools, which we'll talk a little bit about through our Team N product, stats and performance tools through products like Game Plan, which help distribute videos and documents through our application. This is a product that's used across the professional ranks with Major League Baseball, with the NBA, with the NFL. We have video analysis tools and video breakdown products through a product called Stiva, which some of you may be familiar with in the hockey world. We have esports partners, which we found has become incredibly popular during the COVID world, and giving these kids an outlet to connect through community of esports while they're not on the playing field. And then we've got resources like Captain U, which is our college recruiting tool, which allows that athlete to connect with college coaches when they're interested in playing in the college ranks. And so ultimately at Stack Sports, our solution and our goal is to provide software solutions for coaches and athletes along their journey from as young as 2 years old all the way until they get to the professional rank. So I thought it would be helpful to start with that in terms of who we are from a broad level. So hopefully that helps as we kick off this conversation today. I'll go ahead and stop there, and I think we're going to hand it over to Stacy to take a little bit of a dive on PushSave.
Yes, excellent. Thanks, Ellis, and thank everybody for, of course, joining us on this webinar today. Thanks, Amanda and Stacks Forwards and Goalline for having us. I'm going to share my screen. I just wanted to just do a little blurb first about fundraising and what we are. We're a managed service product that is designed to help you have a very good experience with fundraising. It's probably one of those things that maybe gets pushed down your to-do list a little bit, yet for some organizations, I know it's super important, and my job is just to give you all the information that you would need to make a good decision on whether PushSave might be a great partner for you or not. So I'm going to share my screen and give you a quick demo, and at the end, if it's something that you're interested in learning more about, what I hope you will do is you'll go to the link at the end of my presentation and fill out the little form, and I can get you a more customized demonstration if you so wish. So what is PushSave? Well, simply put, it's a coupon book on your phone, okay? Got a couple of keywords though that we have pivoted and made this thing so that it works like it's so streamlined for a youth association. It's designed to give your volunteers some of their time back. Because if there's one thing that is often synonymous with fundraising, it's work and time. And I hear often, I don't have time to fundraise yet. Our organization needs it. What does an organization need fundraising for? It could be a variety of things. It could be a capital raise to get an entire new set of jerseys, or maybe it's to improve fields, maybe reduce the registration fees for your families, or to keep them where they are. That's where we can help. And PushSave, the coupon book on your phone, is contactless, community-focused fundraiser designed for youth sports. And I'm Stacy Stibbe. I'm the Vice President of Sales over here at PushSave. Couple of little blurbs here before I do give you an actual demo of the product. I've been fundraising a long time, and there's lots of good fundraisers out there, and many of them are with a tangible product yet, whether it's coupon books or pizza sales or cookie dough, and they work, but we're here to just help you know that there's no need to ask your members to do that much work. They don't need to go door to door, to the same 3 neighbors that they go to for every other fundraiser that they do. We're designed to help, let's call it, getting some of the money outside of your community and getting it into your organization. Because we often will hit up the same people each time for fundraisers. And with the coupon book on your phone with PushSave, we're simply going to create a website for you, and we will teach you every step of the way and stay with you every step of the way on how you can promote it to family and friends all over the country, stateside too. So contactless, community focused. So I said coupon book. So where do we get these coupons from? There's going to be, in some areas, there's going to be some great local discounted coupon offers. And if someone is interested in working with us and we need to add some businesses, we can do that. We have some national chains, we have some local ones. Every customer will get to check it out before they make that commitment to work with us. Automated selling tools, built-in quick links on what we call a seller dashboard to make it really easy for your members to be able to promote this thing. Again, you as an organization are not going to have to touch product or money or anything like that, nor will your families. It's easy as it pertains to that. And also, of course, some great profits and zero risk. If we try it and it doesn't work, which I don't believe will happen because I've been doing this for a long time, but you can't lose money on it. All right, there's great profits, no risk. All right, so what I'm going to show you today, in addition to a quick demo on the product, is going to be how we would engage your members to join the campaign and to sell the product, how customers that support you actually save money in doing so, and then, of course, how to actually manage your campaign, which all, by the way, can be done right from your phone. All right, so again, trying to give some time back to your volunteers and having a managed service product so that you're not just doing it on your own. We don't just say, here you go for it. We've got a campaign manager to help you every step of the way. All right, so quick little demo of the product. I just pulled a page off of our website, but if you said, hey, Stacy, I want my organization to do this, our team puts it together in the background. We create your page, we put the logo on there, we get your stamp of approval, and this is a little example of what it would look like. We get your goal on there, all that good stuff. Every supporter, I talked about what the fundraiser is it's a coupon book on your phone. A little secret, not everybody wants a coupon book, but if your families send their link, we're going to give people an option. We're going to give them the option to actually create a coupon book in wherever they live, okay, wherever they live, right? So if I could just hit pause for a moment, I call it old school fundraising in the traditional form of a discount card, where kids would go maybe door to door, they'd have a card, they'd say, here you go, hope you like the coupons on here, please give me your 25 bucks or your 30 bucks or whatever. With this, we let every supporter actually do that. So what that means is your organization, as I mentioned earlier, they send this link out to everyone, your families do, and wherever they land, they get to create their book wherever they are. So if I wanted to create, I'm actually in Atlanta today, but if I wanted to send this to a friend of mine up in, let's say, Winnipeg to support my Davies Eagles boys hockey team, I put in my city, and now all the businesses that we have up in Winnipeg would pull up, and I, as the supporter, get to create my coupon book. And of course, they pay right online, and the money drops right into your organization's checking account. So you don't have to touch the money, you don't have to touch the product. All right. And as I mentioned, excuse me, not everybody might want a coupon book, so we give them the option to just donate, which is kind of a game changer. We're the best of both worlds. You can get something back for your donation, or you can simply donate. You can even, if you notice this middle button, they could even just buy a credit and they can gift a coupon book to someone. So that's what the product is. Coupon book on your phone. Every supporter gets to create the coupon book in the city they live in, which opens up the whole country for you guys to sell to. All right, so that's what the product is. How your family sell it and how we would get your members engaged and get them sending a link is we have each of them do a little simple process called joining the fundraising campaign. And it's simple, and people are getting really good at creating accounts online. They don't always love to do it, which I get, but in order to participate in the fundraiser, they would have to, go to this page that would be set up. There's a little 48-second video that gives them the details, and then, they click this big button that says click to join the fundraiser. Pretty easy. They'll simply click. They'd have a choice. Are they a student representing themselves, or are they a parent or guardian, which of course your parents would click. They sign it up, they click join, and boom, they would now have what we call a seller dashboard that would look just like this. And they'd have all this right on their phone. With a click of a button, they can click this button, and our system creates an email, and it'll say, hey, we're raising money for Fargo Youth Hockey. Click here to support us. It says a little more than that, but you get the idea. And every family would have this little masterpiece. It's a seller dashboard. It keeps track of how much they've sold, how much they've raised. What that means for you as an organization is you get to set these parameters. You get to decide along with one of our consultants' help of going, hey, here's what we need. Here's how many registered athletes we hope to have. What should we make as the ask? Should we ask them to try to raise 50 bucks? Should we try to ask them to raise 100? It doesn't matter. It's no risk, but as a fundraising, I pride myself in wanting to help you have the best fundraiser ever. I'll give you myself or one of my team members would give you some great guidance on exactly what you might want to ask of your families. And that's really it. We set up the page, we create a quick link for your families to join, and we get that link out to all your families and get them to create their account and join the fundraiser. And of course, there's a process built up around that. It's simple in that it includes emails, social media posts, occasional text messages. Depending on the organization, we've done calls with coaches, we've done parent meetings, the whole work. So it's contactless in summary, automated selling, easy management. You as the administrator, I didn't go into all of that. If you end up filling out the form at the end, I'll show you exactly what the back end looks like so you can manage that campaign. Risk-free, no minimums or inventory, and of course some great profits. So that's what PushSave is. This is the link. If you go to pushsave.com/teamup, it'll have a little form that you can certainly fill out to get some more information, and we'd be happy to schedule a call or to start an email exchange with you. So pushsave.com/teamup is the website to go to. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing quick and see if I clicked that right. Go back over here. Excellent. Okay. There aren't any, I didn't see any questions in the chat. So Amanda, I will send it back to you.
Apparently I was disconnected for a second there, so I got worried, but I'm back. Okay. So we are going to move over and hear from Ellis again, who is going to talk to us about Team In for team accommodations and travel.
Awesome. Thanks, Amanda. And thanks, Stacy, on all the great info on PushSave. Really exciting stuff there. Guys, we'll spend a few minutes on Team In and walk through a few slides. Should be fairly quick because it's a really straightforward product. But excited to introduce this to the Goalline partnership base. Team In, as I mentioned in the intro, is our housing software. And it's pretty simple. It's a free product to use. And we essentially take over all logistics and components to your team travel. So we found in a lot of instances that team travel is pretty fragmented. You have some teams on a per travel basis going out and just picking out, any and every hotel on Expedia or Priceline, or using different internet resources for those travel dates, and really not getting anything back in return. And quite honestly, it's a headache, right? So our goal at Team In is to provide the best travel experience in youth sports today and for years to come through partnership. One of the things that makes Team In unique is we don't do anything but sport travel. We don't do corporate travel. We don't do anything for anything other than sports. So that makes us super qualified to handle your sports team's processes, meaning there's a lot of nuances that come with sport travel. They may not stay the full time frame because they lost in a tournament, right? And so we don't charge attrition. You guys don't get dinged when your team decides to come home a day early, right? Those are things that are tough to kind of navigate, negotiate on your own. Some of the services and processes that we do and manage are the RFP process. We'll reach out directly to all of the hotels in any given area while your teams are traveling. We will white label a booking page, right? So you could have 5 or 10 hotels in a surrounding area that you have the opportunity to stay at. We're hotel anonymous. We're agnostic, I should say. We don't have loyalty to any brand, and so we will make sure that there are different price points, everything from your Best Westerns to your Hiltons to your Marriotts. We don't care. We just want to give you and your parents the ability to stay in an affordable hotel and take that headache off them. Again, as I mentioned, we'll white label that site so your parents will be able to take advantage of all this as well. We handle all the contracts and the rebate negotiations with these hotels as well, and even have the ability to implement kind of the Airbnb and condo and rental homes as part of this as well. You can go ahead and move forward there, Amanda. Some of the things we do from a hotel relationship standpoint, we found that it's super important to create a good relationship, not just with the hotels, but with your CVB as well. Obviously, when teams are traveling or there's a big tournament and you have hundreds of teams in, the economic impact to having athletes and parents in over a long weekend is important to cities, right? And so we want to make sure that we're building those long-term relationships, not just with the hotels, but with the visitor bureau as well. Right. And so we make sure we handle that top down with our organization. We'll have dedicated sales reps and executives that handle your guys' team travel. And again, it's really as straightforward as that. I get asked the question a lot, well, what's the catch with this? Well, quite honestly, there's no catch. It is, if you're looking for a way to optimize and streamline your hotel booking processes for your organization and or your team, contact us and let us know. I think the next slide here is, ultimately, what's the next step, right? Some of you guys may have not even ever thought about evaluating team travel and ways to best optimize that and generate revenue for that. If you've got your seasons coming up, getting ready to start here in the fall, or even for the start of 2022, contact me, shoot me an email. I have it listed on there, and we can get you guys started as quick as tomorrow. Quite honestly, we'll get your travel schedule sent over to our team in group, and they can start going to work for you. On average, I will say, I've mentioned revenue stream a few times. Again, this is a free product to use. On average, our partners generate around $10 per room night back, right? So just do your easy math. If you did 1,000 room nights at $10 room night, you're talking about $10,000 back to your organization, right? And 1,000 room nights, when you're talking about a whole league throughout the course of a year, is not that much, right? So a very easy way to generate revenue. I'll steal a line from Stacy and PushSave. Great profits and no risk, right? Same thing with Team In. Great profits, no risk, easy to sign up. So excited to potentially partner with you guys on the Team In front. And I don't see any questions, but if they do arise or you think of something to ask as we continue to walk through the webinar here, feel free to shoot something in there and we can address it here in a little bit.
Awesome. So that's going to bring us to our Skyhawk section here. So we're going to hear from Jason Frazier to hear some exciting stuff there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Amanda. Thanks for everybody joining today. And just real quick, I think as a customer also of PushSave, of Team In, and Goalline as well, like these are amazing products. And so like if you need a validator, if you'd like a testimonial, please reach out to me. But these are all services that help drive our business, that help build a stronger platform and portfolio for everything that we're trying to do. So awesome information. Thank you guys for sharing. My name is Jason Frazier. I'm the President and Chief Operating Officer for Skyhawk Sports Academy. At the core of what we do is youth sports. And so we are a Stack sports company. And really what we are positioned to do is be the feeder program into the Stack ecosystem. And we're going to tell you a little bit about that today. And so Ellis had shared a great slide on all of our businesses and how they fit in together, and wanted to give you kind of a snapshot of where we fit in. So we're part of the camps division. We're the experiential part of Stack. We were acquired back at the beginning of 2018 when Stack was just a technology company, credit card processing, software, and website building. What they really wanted to do is create something that was experiential on the field, where we had direct connection with the kids, and that's where Skyhawks comes into play. And so one of the things that I think is super important is that most of our strategic partners, most of our strong partners are using many of these different aspects within Stack to create this powerful tool, to create this powerful product that helps drive revenue for their local associations and clubs. And we like to be considered as that entry point into all of those different opportunities. And so, really for us, what we want to figure out is, how do we help benefit your organization? How does this translate to what we can do for you? And there's a lot of different ways to do that. Normally, I don't like to have so much content on a slide, but also wanted to let you know how we can come alongside you and assist. One of the main things is creating a feeder program. What we want to do is we want to drive members to your association. And we start at a younger age with a lot of the other NGBs that we work with throughout the world. That's the hat that we wear. And so I think that automatically could be a revenue creator for you. But a big thing is, what does the pathway look like? Every single organization, every single person on this call has different struggles. There's different holes. There's different gaps. There's different ways that you are succeeding and stabilizing your business. The important thing for us is this is a customizable program. So whether it's a recreation path, whether we focus on schools, whether we're looking at shoring up our coaching foundation and our pipeline through certifications, we want to figure out how best we can, again, come alongside you. And I think that there's a lot of things that we can do to help shore up the foundation. And that's so key to everything that we do, is really capitalizing on the why. And that's what we kind of want to get into next, is why do we do what we do, and what does it look like? And at the end of the day, our mission is everything. It's having an opportunity for every single kid to have a sporting element to their life. And through that sport, to focus on life lessons. We know that very few of these kids will go on and play in high school. Very few will go on and play even beyond that level. So what we do at a specifically young age means the world. And we're seeing it now more than ever, is that kids need sports. They need socialization. They need that positive experience that means so much to having a kid with a well-rounded life. And that's something that we provide. And the other thing is just the pathway. One of the things that we see as an issue in all youth sports is that kids are leaving the sport at a quicker clip. So they might experience soccer, they might experience basketball, but they're only playing for 2 or 3 years. We want to create a lifelong opportunity for kids and their families to play these sports. And we feel like we have a really good kind of base tool to get there. And what we found is that, especially this last year with COVID, is that a lot of organizations are trying to retain those kids that were lost, retain members, retain people in their association. And our platform, our pathway helps us get there. And the biggest thing is, how do we get the kids in the system? How do we retain them? By creating a fun environment, something that's skill-based and safe, but is focused on fun, something that I think is severely missing in youth sports these days. And all of us as organizations are trying to get that same goal. And we feel like we can help. And that's something where, again, it's not one size fits all, but a big thing of this is that we have many different program types, many different sports, because we absolutely believe in the multi-sport athlete. I think sports specialization is really hurting youth sports right now. And so we have a wide variety of sports, which we'll show you here in the next slide, where this opportunity could be available for every single one of our organizations. In a mature market, we're running all of these different sports at different levels. And again, it depends on what's happening in your area and the sports that you're focusing on. That's our foundation. But then the growth model is working with NGBs. It's working with experts in each of those sports verticals to help us grow the sport. And that's, again, walking alongside hand in hand to create curriculum, to create a co-branded message that then allows us to spend time on our real mission, which is, again, every single kid should be playing these sports. Every single kid, despite their ethnicity, their background, their sexual preference, their economic level, all of those kids should be able to find the sport. And then, so for us, we have a nonprofit arm. So no matter what we do, we want to be able to tap into this, to be able to start contributing right away to your area. We have our own foundation. We have a partnership with Every Kid Sports. If you don't know that group, they're based out of Bend, Oregon. Fantastic group that gets funding from national corporations, and then they feed that the money back into youth sports. And then, of course, through our own scholarship campaigns and then the grants, we have a grant writer on staff. There's so much funding available right now because of COVID. We want to tap into all of these different streams so that we go into your community and kids aren't having to pay $1,000 to get into a league or association. We want to make it so easy to get entered into the sport. And this is probably the biggest thing of what we do that really tackles our philosophy every day. And a part of this too, and Amanda, if you can go to the next slide, it's all related back to data. We talk about data, we talk about numbers, and we're like, how does that fit into a mission where you're trying to create positivity for kids? Well, when we go after grants and we're trying to figure out graduation rates and grade point and attendance rates for kids across the North American continent, it is, what do? We have to focus on data. And that's something that I think that we can contribute more than anybody in the world, based on Stack Sports, based on Goalline's registration system, based on our Sports Connect, our data memberships system, and then based on what we do at camps with Skyhawks, is that we can immediately come in with data to analyze how we can create a growth strategy for your area. It is a scalable model because we work with community-based organizations. It's not a brick and mortar. So we work with parks and recs and municipalities. We work with schools, public and private, and daycares, YMCAs. They provide a facility and we pretty much do everything else. And that's the beauty of it, is that you can scale the business quickly having that type of model. And then we use that data to then help us launch new markets. And one of the big reasons that we can do that is because of our franchise model. One of the things that is important, because we know we have so many groups from Canada on the call today, is that what does that footprint look like? We're based in the US. We have a very good footprint in the US, but we also have a strong footprint in Canada. And so again, a dense slide here that you couldn't possibly read through all of this, but the point being is that we're based in Spokane, Washington, right across the border from BC. And we have all of these groups there that are helping set the foundation for how we can come again alongside you and create a strategy right away, even in fourth quarter of 2021, to get programming off the ground. And so hopefully if you're interested, we can do something a little bit more tailored for your area. And if you're in the US, obviously we can go that route as well. The point being is that we scale quickly. And this is something that even in the last couple of years, we have grown in that area, and especially with what we're doing with Goalline and our franchisees being able to use that product for registration, it's going to allow us to grow even quicker. And a lot of our management, even on the franchise international side, is based in Canada as well. And that, again, the scaling, the growth, you see here that we've also expanded. We've got master franchises in China and Indonesia. This scale has allowed us to start being recognized as one of the top youth franchise companies in the world. Something that we're super proud of. But then again, it also comes back to that quality and the fact that we can customize a program for you. It's not just camps. It's not just after school. We want to figure out where the gaps are, the holes, where you need help, where there's some areas where maybe you don't have the infrastructure personnel to help, where we can come alongside and create that program with you, not for you, not separately, but with you, so that we can, again, firm up that foundation. But all of this doesn't matter if it's not to the core of what we do. And the biggest differentiator for Skyhawks is our staffing. The staffing is something that it's the forward-facing, it's the customer-facing part of anything that we do. Right now, I think this week in the US alone, we've got 2,000 camps across the country that are running. And that is the coaches and the directors that are working directly with the kids to make it the best experience possible. And this is where we invest the most of our time and energy and budget, is sourcing the best coaches, is training the best coaches, is paying the best coaches. All of these coaches are paid. They're not volunteers. And we create as many certification processes as possible. One of those things is through Positive Coaching Alliance, a very strong partner with us. In North America alone, they've got 20 national partners, and Skyhawks is one of those partners, meaning every kid that goes through our system becomes a PCA certified coach. And one of the things that we offer for all of our strategic partners is the ability for all of their coaches to go through that certification as well. And for us, we think it's a win-win. No matter what we're doing to partner with you, if we're building a more stable coaching base in the youth ranks, everybody wins. Everybody wins, because we know that that is a position that is surely missing right now, that we need to all fix collectively together. And so, again, along with our grants, along with our funding and our sponsorships, this is something that we think we can help you immediately with. So if there's any interest there, please reach out to us. And then again, that's going to lead to probably the question that we've gotten the most over the last year is, where are we with COVID? What was the return to play like for our organization? And, quite honestly, it was tough, probably like it was for most of your organizations in the spring and summer of 2020. There was two things that you can see there on the picture that we were told not to do. One, don't be the first camp provider out there. It's too big of a risk, too big of a liability. Have somebody come out else before you and then follow off of their lead. And the other thing is, don't create your own protocols. And we bucked both of those trends, and we did both of those things to the testament to the team that we have in place here. It was a risk, but it allowed us to be in a place where we've had an extremely successful year. And so we want to take that and the ability that we've had over the course of this last year to shore up our infrastructure, to invest in marketing, to invest in staff, to invest in our processes. We want to make sure that we are giving back. We want to make sure that we are working with organizations that don't necessarily have that ability right now. And it's with an aggressive staff, a seasoned staff, a well-tenured staff that are competitive as well. They want to help organizations. Our heart at the end of the day is with kids. It's with affecting one kid at a time. And that's the most exciting thing about seeing the demand for our programs right now, is that the need is there. And with competition leaving the space because of COVID, it's even a more important time that we're offering these programs to kids. And I think that the best thing that we can possibly do, because there's a lot of different camp providers out there, again, circling back to the beginning of our conversation today, is how do we bring technology together with programs? How do we look at our strategic partners? How do we look at Stack Technologies? How do we look at Goalline registration, membership data, and then fun opportunities like PushSave? Really interesting kind of top of line services like Team In. How do we combine these and so that it's all integrated? And so, man, if you want to go to the next slide here, this is how we structure a partnership. It's not just camps. Again, we feel like we do a very good job with camps, but the biggest differentiator for us within camps and within Stack Sports is how do we work together? And it all starts with registration, because we want to collect data. Data allows us to figure out, where do we open up new markets? How do we market to our current customer base? How do we figure out where kids are leaving the system? And we've got tens of thousands of examples of kids that are going through the system, how long they're in the system, where are we losing them, and where are we successful? That's information we want to share with you. We add that to our programming, and then we add all of the data that we have across the entire world, which is such important data, which also leads to the surveys that we take from our staff and from our parents that we want to share with you as well. How do we make youth sports better? The biggest differentiator is then there's no one else that can come alongside with the technology that we have, whether it be more coaching resources, through our game plan and Steve products. Those are just, again, top of the line products that most of the professional sports teams in North America are using. And then you've got recruiting software like Captain U that they go through our feeder program from Super Tots to Skyhawks. But then what do we want to do for those kids that want to go on and be recruited in college? And then we've got all these other tools through our Stack Sports strategic partnerships. You've heard from PushSave today. That's a great one. That's something that we bring value add to all of our customers, and that we can do that hand in hand. Every Kid Sports we talked about already. Hometown ticketing, which is a big one for us, and Ellis and his team have done such a fantastic job of this last year securing. All of those things are things that we want to contribute and give to you right away, which leads to kind of next steps. And sorry for talking fast. This is something I'm really excited about, is figuring out what those next steps are. We have a lot of ideas of how we can help you grow, how we can be positioned to be a revenue generator for you through our programming, but it's, again, not one size fits all. And that's going to be a big part of this, is we want to learn about you. Our partnership model is very relationship based. It's being in the same room. It's having a whiteboard and figuring out what's working well and where can we help. And then where can we be in a position to learn from you as well. Like I said before, with each of our sports, we want to grow that sport, but we want to do it with subject matter experts. We want to do it with people that are absolutely positive about the industry and our purpose. And so the pilot programs, those are easy things. Those are things that we're doing with all of our partners right now. But then let's say you have the program part covered. There's still ways for us to help through our sponsorships and through our funding, through facility procurement. If we need facilities to offer programs, offering different sports for kids that are only locked into one sport and specializing at a young age. Or we want people in our association to have the ability to run their own camps. We can come alongside for a consultation piece to that as well. It all leads back to creating that pathway where kids are playing all throughout their lives, and then their kids are then being sent to a Skyhawks or Super Tots or your organization's program. So it's really that circle of sports that all of this is based on. And so if there's any interest at all of anything that we talked about today, again, I know that it's kind of high level. What we'll do is schedule a specific call and talk about your organization and do something a little bit more tailored to potential needs that you have in your organization. Love to have that conversation. My contact information's here. Amanda will be sending that out as well. Love to talk about it and just how we make youth sports better in general. And we feel like with our mission and our footprint and the processes that we have, we can help. And so love the opportunity to be able to speak today. Again, I can't be a bigger validator for PushSave and Team In and Goalline. So if you're not using those services, please look into it. And if you want to talk about any of those services as well, you can contact me. And just really appreciate the opportunity today. Thank you, Amanda.
Thanks so much for everybody. Really appreciate all the great information, and thanks for those who attended here. We can stick around if there's any questions. Go ahead and throw those in the chat for the next couple of minutes here, but we'll send around a follow-up just so that you have some access to information to get back in touch and to reach out to Ellis or Trevor or Jason or Stacy, or me if you want to. I can point you in the right direction as well with whatever you're looking for there. So thanks so much for attending, and you'll receive a copy of the recording here in an email shortly after the end of the webinar. Thank you, Jay, for attending. Appreciate it. So we'll stick around for some questions. If there's anything, we'll answer those, or we'll end the webinar in a moment or so here if there's no further questions, and feel free to follow up anytime.